my dear students for the BCA 6th semester session number 43. In this session, we will find the topics like logical operators and also the control flow, that is control structure, that is if condition. And also we will look into all the operators which are available in our Unix shell programming. Okay, before going to our today's session, we will have some recap of the previous session where we saw about how to write the shell scripts, how to execute those one, and also how to make our shell scripts as an interactive fashion by giving a user inputs. And also we came across with the using command line arguments, like how we can give the command line arguments on our command line interpreter. And also we saw that how to get exit and its exit status and all we just learned in the previous session. Now moving on to our today's session, that is basic operators in shell scripting. So what are all the operators which are available in our shell programming? See, this is normal. Generally, you will all know about all these types of operators. Only thing is, we will have a refresh class about all these operators. So, operator means what? Which is used in order to manipulate the individual data items and the data sets. These data items are rather called as the operands or arguments. So, if at all, if the operation to be done on a data means first and foremost there should be one operator. So, based on that, what action to be taken on those operands will be justified. Okay, coming on to these operators. So, these are represented by special characters or even you can call it as keywords. So, there are 5 basic operators which deals with your bash shell scripting. So what are all those? First and foremost, it is arithmetic operators. We have already know about all this. As I told you prior, we will just have a glance of these operators. So relational operators, boolean operators, bitwise operators and file test operators. We will just look into in detail what all the operators are available in arithmetic. So these operators are used in order to perform normal arithmetic or mathematical operations like your plus, minus, that is addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, modulo. It was really a normal one, and here 2 more are included where we will use this operator for the increment and decrement purpose, where you can use this for double plus and double minus signs in order to do so respectively. Okay. So after knowing about this arithmetic, we will move on to the relational operators. So how it has been shown or used in our shell scripting. So those operators which defines the relation between the 2 operands. So how it will. So they give either true or false depending upon the relation. So there are 6 types, that is here the double equals, where it says that it is equal to 2 operands, or comparing the 2 operands whether if they are equal. It returns true if they are equal, otherwise it is false. So not equal to operator. So here also it is not equal to operator between your returns true if the 2 operands are not equal, otherwise it returns false. So cherons, so that is your left cheron, that is less than operator. So here once again it checks for the first operand is less than the second operand, otherwise it will gives you the false. Same way, less than or equal to operator returns true if first operand is less than or equal to second operand, otherwise it returns false. Greater than operator, it will gives the greater than operator which returns true if first operand is greater than the second one. Okay, so greater than or equal to, so greater than equal to operator also returns true if first operand is greater than or equal to the second operator, else it will gives you the false. So next coming on to the bitwise operators. So a bitwise operator is an operator which is used to perform bitwise operations on bit patterns. So here also we have 6 types where bitwise AND is performed. Here the binary AND operation will be done on bit by bit. So here bitwise OR operator. So this is used in order to perform the OR operation bit by bit on the operands. So the next is your bitwise XOR. So here you will use for a binary XOR. So here also bit by bit on the operands. Bitwise complement. So here it works as a binary NOT operation bit by bit on the operand. So a next type of operator is left shift. So this operator shifts the bits to the left operand left by number of times specified by the right operand. So right shift, this operator shifts the bits of the left operand to the right by number of times specified by the right operand. So this is how our bitwise operators will work. So next type of is called as file test operator. So what is this file test operator? So these are the operators which are used in order to test a particular property of a file. If you want to check which type of file it is, then we can use this type of operators. So minus p, if you give this minus p, then this checks whether the file is a block special file or not. If it is true, then this file is a block file, else it is false. Same way it further goes on. Minus C operator which checks for the character special file or not, and minus D will depicts for the directory exists or not. Minus E operation will checks whether the given file exists or not. So the file existence itself is checked by your minus E operation. So minus R is the one which checks whether the given file has a read access or not. Same way with the minus W, write access or not. So minus X, that will gives you whether the file has a execute access or not. Minus S, where that is operator checks the size of the given file. If the size of the given file is greater than 0, then it returns true, otherwise it is false. Okay, so the next that is which has been emphasized in our syllabus is logical operator. So what is this logical operators? It is also known as Boolean operators. Here we use basically 3 types of logical operations. First one foremost is logical AND, that is ampersand ampersand. Twice you have to mention. If you use once means it will become a bitwise operator. This is a binary operator which returns true if both the operands are true, otherwise returns false. Logical operator, this binary operator which returns true if either of the operand is true or both the operands are true, and returns false if none of them is false. Not equal to, this is a unary operator which returns true if the operand is false and returns false if the operand is true. So vice versa it will work. If at all, if it is 0 means it performs negate as a 1. If there is a 1 means it will perform as a 0. Okay, so here the shell provides 2 operators which allows a conditional execution, that is with the operator, logical operator, that is AND OR. Okay, so here if at all, if you give command with an and logical AND with a command 2 and logical OR with a command 2, so then this AND delimits 2 commands. So the command cmd2 is executed only when command 1 succeeds. So if this succeeds, then only it will move on to the command 2. Okay, so now we will have an instance to understand. Here the grep command we have taken, where we have taken the pattern called director. So in the emp.list, and also we are telling and echo pattern found in file. If at all, see here, and means what it will do, it is a multiplication fashion. So if both the outputs are true, then only it will be executed. Okay, so here you can see pattern found in file. Why? Because you have a director called pattern. So those two lines will be outputted, and also your second command is executed. Pattern found in file. Okay. So this command 1, which is OR with command 2, here the operator will place an inverse role with the second command is executed only when the first fails. So if you are grep pattern, if you are using a grep pattern from a file without success, you can notify the failure. So here what we are doing, grep with the manager emp list or echo pattern not found. So here what we are telling, if at all 1 is true also, that is more than enough. So for that reason what it will do, if any 1 is true, then also it is okay. So pattern not found. The OR goes pretty well with the exit command. You often need to terminate a script when a command fails. Whenever the command fails, then it is our responsibility to terminate the script. Coming on to the next instance, that is grep $1, $2. So with the pipe exit 2. So no point of continuing if search fails. Over here, if at all if search fails, means there is no point of. So it is better to move to the next. Next is echo pattern found hyphen job over. So here executed only if the grep succeeds. If at all if this grep is succeeded, then only this will get executed. Conditional statements. So there are 5 conditional statements which can be used in shell programming. So in your shell script you can see if statement, if else statement, if elif, if else if. Instead of that, in your Unix programming we call that as if elif else. Okay. So next if then else, if then if. So here what it is saying, it is a nested if. So what is this? It's nothing but is your nested if. Case statement. So case statement, it's nothing but switch in the other programming languages. Here we call this as a case. If statement. This block will process if specified condition is true. So what is this? See here, syntax, if expression. Expression is evaluated. If at all if it is true, then the statement block will be processed. Okay. So it is very simple if, and you can see if is a keyword, then is a keyword, and fi is a keyword. See, it is very simple. No need to keep it in memory. It's just a tricks. That's it. It is while starting it is if, while ending it will be ulta of it. That is fi. So come on, let's see with an example. So we are saying that hash exclamatory with the bin and sash. So here what we are doing, we are setting the date. If the test $1 is equal to Friday. Then echo talking, thank goodness it's Friday. Okay. So after knowing the setting the date, after knowing whether it is Friday or Saturday or something, so what we will say, we will greet the fellows. So thank goodness it's Friday. If else statement. So here if the specified condition is not true, then else part will be executed. If it is true, means if it is true, then this block will be executed. Statement 1, that is a true block. Else when it will be, when this is not true, then your else part will be executed as a statement 2. So conditional statements. So here in this you can see it is if, elif, else, if statement. So it's just like else if ladder in your C programming language. Here you can see to use multiple conditions in one if else block, then elif keyword is used in shell. So here if the expression 1, you can see if the expression 1 is true, then your statement 1 and 2 will get executed, and if at all if this process continues, if then elif expression 2, then statement 3 and 4 will get executed. If at all if it is still in continue, if none the condition is true, then the process will goes to the else part, that is statement 5 will be executed, and that will be the end of the condition. Okay, so this is how it will work for your if, elif, else. See, once again I repeat. So if you want to go for a multiple condition, then it is best to go for if else block. Then elif keyword will be used in your shell. See here, if expression 1 is true, then what it will do? The true block will be executed, that is statement 1 and statement 2. Else, if at all if it is not true, then it will goes for the elif part. Elif is nothing but a combination of else and if. Okay, so that's why it is called as elif, and the expression 2 will be evaluated. If at all if it is true, then statement 3 and 4. Likewise, it will move on. If at all if no condition is matched, then it will goes for the else part, and it will execute the statement 5. So that will be the end of your conditions. Okay, so one more, that is nested if. If then else, if then f5, 5. So here what is this? Nested if else block can be used when one condition is satisfied and then it again checks for the another conditions. In the syntax you can see if expression 1 is false, then what it will do? It will process the else part, that is expression 2 will be checked. Same way here, if at all if the expression 1 is true, then statement 1 and 2 will be executed. If it is false, it will goes to the else part of once again if, where it will once again checks for the condition, and then it will go executes the statement 3. So this is nothing but you are placing the if within the if. See here, you are placing the if. Okay, this control structure has been placed inside the if. So that's why it is called as nested. Okay, so we will just look into the some few examples regarding this implementing if else statement. So here we are initializing the two variables, that is a is equal to 20 and b is equal to 20. So we are checking if by taking if and else conditions. If $a, why? Because whenever we want to access the value of a variable, we have to give dollar symbol. So $a will be equal to $b. Then if at all if it is equal, of course based on the given input, our condition satisfies this. So if at all if it is equal, then echo a is equal to b. If they are equal, then print this. Okay, else will print this, that is a is not equal to b. So once you execute this script, then you can get the output as a is equal to b. Okay, based on the user's inputs, you can justify whether your output will lies in a true block or a false block. Okay, so summing up today's session, that is, if you see, we have already discussed about the operators, that is, we have arithmetic operators, relational operators, Boolean operators, bitwise operators, and file test operators. These are all the different types of operators we have seen, and also the conditional statements like if statements, if else statements, if else if statement, and also the if then else if then statement. So we have seen these operators and conditional statements in today's session, and these are the references which we have referred. For our further information, refer this.